Well, today is August the 11th of 2015, and it's another episode of Alone in the Dark with Isaac David Brigmond. And this one is friendships, relationships, and, things. I know y'all have heard this stuff before from folks, but you've probably never heard of it from your friend Isaac David Brigmond. But I'm going to do one. If you ever go to school, regardless of high school, middle school, special ed. And look, I'm also going to go through the do's and don'ts in life, according to me. So, right now I hear on the top of my roof noises which indicate it is raining, which I'm glad because I like rain. Well, I don't like to be in the middle of rain, but if I can be inside a building, hearing it rain outside, I know that the weather's going to cool down, is what I'm saying. But let's get back to where I was on the story about the do's and don'ts in life and relationship stories. Okay, if this noise sounds like water tapping on something, it is. It's my roof, so let's hope it don't drown me out. But anyway, the story goes like this. When you're in school, you will have two types of relationships. You will have this one guy who is your best friend, and you will have this one female who's your best friend, and you will have one of your friends who's a female who you will actually like. And I did this one time. I went through my whole entire life in a certain grade. Now you say, what do you mean by that? Well, when you're young, you think that your whole entire life consists of, hey, I've been in school. How long you been in school? My whole entire life. It feels like it. But anyway, in this one grade I went to school at, I had a friend who I actually liked. And at the time, we started out as friends. And then later on, it got to being like I should have asked her out, but I was too scared to because I didn't know what she'd think of me. Then, come to find out, I had a reunion with her through not only running into her in public, but also on Facebook. And when I did that, come to find out, we got to talking and everything. I went to an event recently, seen her there. We looked at each other. I thought, I like the way she's happy looking at me. Well, next thing I know, excuse my language if I make a noise. I'm trying to clear my throat. I've been going through, the earlier part of this month, I was going through some sinus issues where I couldn't even hardly do that little voice. The little voice like this. That right there is perfect because I'm getting over the sinus troubles. But when it was sounding horrible, I couldn't even say nothing. Excuse me for that, but back to where I was. Well, what I was saying was I never told her what I thought of her until we met on Facebook. And then it's like, I ain't blurted out like, oh, I like you or whatever, but, you gradually get into it as the conversation goes like you're supposed to. Well, I thought that's how you're supposed to be. But apparently what happened was, after seeing her at that event recently and telling her that what I thought of the fact that, she was very pretty, and that, like she always had been, and, and that thinking about her makes me happy. Well, I was being polite. I don't know if it was that, and I need to go back on Facebook probably and check her status because I didn't even do that. And I'm thinking, yeah, what it could be was somebody. Guys, don't do like I did. Do not jump to conclusions and say, oh, well, the reason why she didn't want to go out with you or say she can't go out with you is because, well, all she said was she couldn't go out with me. So I'm thinking either somebody said something, she saw something on the internet, or something went wrong. And you jump in that million things. You say, well, it can't be her parents, I'd have thought, because last time you actually talked to her dad, her dad, I won't say what he done for a living. I'll just say that he done something for a living that you ended up seeing him not every day, but possibly more than one time. So it might be today you saw him, and then tomorrow you might not see him, and some months or weeks later you may see him. So you'd see him more than once, I mean. And so then also, I like to visit churches. I'm not ashamed to say it. I like to visit churches because I do go to church. If you don't like that idea, I'm sorry, but you know. But when I visited their church, he looked at me like, hey, you know, like he was glad to see me there, you know, and happy, and, you know, we got along pretty well. So I figured that couldn't have been that. So I don't know. And I know some of you people are going to say, well, wait a minute, he's not talking about me. I thought that I had something with him. Well, you would have, somebody could have something with me if they were to stop the mess about, why do you women, this is just the bad women that do this. Good women don't do it. Good women, I applaud you for it, but bad women, why do you bad women think that it's okay to say, okay, here's what's going on between me and you, and get the guy, if he's a good guy, you'll get the good guy excited. Oh yeah, I'm going to have something with him. Excuse me, that was a device letting me know that somebody on Facebook was trying to get a hold of me. But anyway, what is it with you bad women? When you talk to good men, you'll sit there and say, oh, here's what's going on, here's what's going on. The guy says, oh, I got something with this person. Then about the time you've got his interest peaked, no, you're going to turn around and let him know, no, you really didn't have nothing with each other. And how you let him know is not by telling him, but by showing him your true colors. And he's like, oh, my word. See, women, if you don't care about these guys, if you hear something in the background, it's me pouring water out of the container, okay? Don't get no ideas thinking he's peeing somewhere. But do understand, people, what is the deal with the bad women telling the good men all this stuff and then faking it later on? Oh, you know what? Here's what's going on here. And he's like, oh, I've got something going on. Then at the last minute, oh, poof, here's what's going on. Then you find out the two stories don't match, and you're like, oh, okay. Like, for one, if you really want to meet a guy, and you don't live that far from him, and it was possible for y'all to meet, go right ahead. If you made plans to meet him, meet him. If you didn't have plans to meet him, then don't make them if you don't want to meet him. You meet him if you got plans to meet him. If you don't have plans, don't make them if you didn't really want to meet him. As simple as that. Because it gets on our nerves when we find out later on, y'all didn't want to talk to us in the first place. Y'all only doing it to aggravate us. If you got an evil bone in your body, drop the evil bone and let it be. You are what you are, not something else. Gracious, folks, I'm sitting here hearing y'all's story about, oh, well, I'm this and that. What you are is what you are, okay? Don't start with this. Okay, and I'm going to tell you something. Don't play head games, okay? If you don't care about him, then don't act like it. You know? So, in other words, the moral of the story on that one is, don't play head games with the guys. If you ain't planning on seeing him, don't talk about it. Okay? Now, guys, if a girl or a woman down the road, when you finally get to talk to her, tells you no, do not jump up and say, okay, well, this is what it is. What she is saying is, there's something on her end she's not telling you about, and I don't know if she ever will tell you, but there's something on her end that's causing her not to want to deal with you in a dating relationship. If it is your fault, apologize all you can if you know it's your fault, and don't do that thing again if you figured out what it was. If it's not your fault and you think it's your fault and you apologize and they tell you it's not your fault, then tell them, well, can you please tell me what it is that's going on here? Because I've seen people, you talk to them on Facebook, then they see what you said and they won't talk back about it. Well, no one, all they got to do is say what they think of the situation or answer your question. And you people out there, Just because some strange woman on the internet seems to like you and have some weird language on there when she types to you does not make her legit. She might be a scam artist and try to get your money. Some scam artists go through a whole months, weeks, years, and days worth of conversation with you until they finally get to the point where they need money. They'll show you pictures. They'll ask questions. They'll make statements. They will talk like they're the perfect somebody, and then poof. Nope. They want your money. And you're like, what? So the moral of the story is, watch out, folks, what happens. I'm going to tell you, there are days in this world when people say, here's what the story is. And you will believe it. And you will swear up and down, yeah, that's it, that's it. But sometimes I wonder with some folks why they do what they do anymore. And I'll tell you something else that gets me. People, if a man, woman, or child has a belief that you do not believe in, be honest about it. And plus, what's the deal with, look, folks, here is my do's and don'ts. Don't make fun of people that went to special ed, regardless of who they are. Don't make fun of people shorter than you. Don't make fun of people in general. Try to be their friend if you can. If you can't find something with them to make friends with, then I don't know. Because it's like saying to people, hey, I've got something you don't have, so I'm better than you. No, you're not better than nobody else. I don't care what you think. Yeah, you think you know me because I said this stuff. Oh, he's short, he went to this education that. No, I am not saying I did or didn't. And besides, that subject is none of your business. Because if it was any of your business, you know. And that sound, it sounds like a revving up motorcycle, is that device I told you about. But it's letting me know I got an update or an information or a notification on the internet. Anyway, point is, what is it with you people who think that because a man, woman, or child brings up a subject, they're talking about that they are in that subject? Well, regardless if they are or aren't in that subject, it bothers them that you pick on folks like that. Like, give you an example. Little boys, little girls, don't pick on them. And parents, don't think that every Tom, Dick, or Harry that tried to be your friend is trying to mess with your kid. A lot of times, they're trying to be friends with the whole entire family. I had it happen to me one time when I lived somewhere else. What it was, I lived in an apartment, and I tried to get one of my neighbors to be friends with me, and I was trying to be friends with the whole family. They took it. I was trying to be friends with their kid, and they was too young for me to play with. And that's not what I said. That's not what I meant. People, if you got a neighbor trying to be your friend, don't assume it's about your kid. It's about the whole entire family. Might be, hey, little Ricky, how do you stay in school? Hey, Cindy, I see you're cooking dinner for your husband. That smells good. I bet it is good. Husband, you might talk to the husband and say, do you go hunting or fishing? He says, I go fishing. Say, well, good. I want to go with you sometime. You know, he may be trying to encourage the kid to stay in school, brag about the mother of the child's cooking. He might be wanting to go fishing with the father of the child. He's got something for the whole family, maybe. He's the child's encourager. He's the mom's bragging of her cooking. He's the dad's go fishing or hunting or golfing buddy. That's all it is. But no, you won't take it like that. Y'all got to take it like he's after y'all in a certain way. Let it go, folks. And also, women, if you really want a good man, when a good man comes along, don't turn him away. And also, why do some of you people say no before you can say yes when you know the person? If you know him personally, what's the problem? Well, I'll let y'all go. Have a nice day, and God bless you.